Hi, I'm John, and welcome to Edgetone Studios. So, just over 3 years ago in the summer, I first started having symptoms that were telling me something was wrong with my body. And it started when on my daily walks when I noticed my shoulder was not moving as well as it used to. And by the time the summer ended, my arm was completely not swinging when I was walking. And I called my doctor, and before you knew it, I was going through a series of tests, scans. I think I had 3 different MRIs, 3 different CT scans, blood tests, and then nerve conductivity testing, and was working with a neurologist. And on November 1st, 2022, I got the brutal news that I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And the nerve conductivity testing neurologist is the one who gave me that diagnosis. The neurologist that was assigned to me wasn't sure. We spent 6 months kind of questioning, is it not? And then, before long, I was assigned to a Parkinson's specialist who confirmed, as best as you can confirm, that it's Parkinson's, that I have Parkinson's disease. And that was pretty devastating for me. And the weird thing that happened was after the first day of the initial shock and telling my kids and telling my wife and telling my relatives and telling my closest friends, I felt this compulsion, like an overwhelming compulsion to make a video about it. And I kept saying to myself, why am I making a video about this? Why would I want to make a YouTube video about the fact that I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's and just tell everybody this? But I gave in and decided I was going to just make a short little video explaining what had happened and where I stood and what was going on. And I posted that video to this channel on November 5th of 2022. And at that point in time, I wasn't even planning to have a YouTube channel. I built the studio to be my retirement gig. I've always wanted to own a pro studio, even though I wasn't a pro engineer. I wanted it to be awesome, and it is. And I wanted to do cool stuff and write some cool music. And I realized that, well, to advertise the studio, I should probably have a studio tour set up on YouTube so I can put that on my website and point to it. So at the time this video had come out, the time I was announcing this brutal news, I think I have them here. I had only 4 other videos done on the channel. The first one was literally me listening to the latest song that my daughter and I had written for our debut album, Processing. And, I just sit there listening to the song and then air drum at the end, and that's about it. And then the second one was just a fast stop motion of me reconfiguring my patch bay. Then I made one where I thought, well, if I'm going to start making videos, let's make something about something I'm passionate about. And it was about why I switched from an Apollo Universal Audio interface to PreSonus digital mixer, and why I thought that was so much better. And then I finally did my tour video in October, and then I had this brutal news that I posted a short, 3-minute long video about. And that video kind of launched my channel. I mean, it's kind of the reason I'm still making YouTube videos today. Because within less than a month, I'd had about 24,000 views on that video. I had hundreds of comments from people all over the world, either with Parkinson's who were musicians, giving me support, or just people who reached out and said, they had sympathy and they supported me. And, it's a very overwhelming thing to have random people reach out and support you. And I continue to make videos, and I've continued on with this channel. And interestingly enough, so that video now is sitting at 25,392 views. It had that initial spike and then ramped off. But the video I'd made two before, the Do Persona Studio Live Mixers rival Universal Audio interfaces, Apollo interfaces, basically, at that point in time, it had a few hundred views, maybe close to 1,000 views. But it has continued to get a continuous stream of views since I made it, and is now, I think, the top video on my channel. So when I resort my videos from my channel, it is number one at 29,295 views, followed by my Brutal News video, followed by my Building Edgetone Studios Part 1 video, which has slowly crept up. It's behind. Well, I made it a bit later. But eventually, I got monetized a year later. And, I've been taking people who follow my channel on a journey through my health conditions. So this year, I started a drumming with Parkinson's series, where my plan was every single month I would film myself to show the progress I'd made, doing 15 minutes of drumming a day, not for the purpose of becoming a drummer, but for the purposes of fighting against the neurological disorder, because my right side of my body is affected. My arm and my leg get stiff. They don't move properly all the time. The drugs that I'm currently on, they help me be able to move normally. Like, I'm moving without really much in the way of tremor at the moment. But other times I go to move my hand like this, and it just goes blah, 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 and I lose control. And I've been generally under the mental state of, I've got this. There's nothing I can do about it except live the best life I can and fight it the best I can. And so my current situation has been that the progression, of course, continues. It will always continue. It's a degenerative disease. In other words, it's slowly mutating and killing a part of my brain that controls the way my body moves. And yes, right now it only affects my right side primarily. I have twinges and sometimes pulling or numb, tingling on my left side occasionally, especially up in the shoulder area, because that's where I was most affected at first. But really, it's affecting my right side, and I think the drumming is helping. I think that the daily walking has been helping. But annually now, I do this Brutal News update where I sort of keep those people on the internet who have been following me and reach out up to speed, but also reflect. It's an annual thing. Those tragic anniversaries of things that happen in your life, where every year you're reminded of something devastating or sad, and that's my start of November. So I don't know. I put this video off for a couple of days. I haven't really been in the mood to make videos lately. I did make one on, the most 80s bass ever, which was my Roland G77 synth bass with the GR77 synth module recently. Finally got around to doing that, even though I was pushing through symptoms that were just really pissing me off, really, and taking away my motivation. I mean, I think that's the thing that I dislike the most. Besides, obviously, I dislike lack of body function and now some pain, which I'll get into. But the fact that it makes me not feel like moving ahead and doing the things that I get excited to do. My excitement level wanes when I think, ow, I'm in pain, or I can't really move very well and I want to do that thing, but I kind of just want to sit here and not do anything. So the most recent update has been that, I've talked before about that this has affected my walking. My gait is off. It's harder to move my left leg. My arm doesn't swing, so I'm constantly working against the symptoms. And what I tend to do is I push through. So I'll do a 30-minute walk every day, sometimes a 40-minute walk, sometimes an hour. Sometimes my buddy and I will go for a 7-8K walk. So for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And, it's usually fine. But about 4 weeks ago, I started finding that something was really weird in the way I was stepping on the left side. And somehow on the walk, as I was sort of analyzing what was going on, I realized that I think I kind of knew this, but I realized that my right foot was kind of just dropping as I put my leg, as my foot hit the ground, that rather than rolling through a step, it was just falling, and that I didn't seem to have any ability for the muscle to pull my foot up. And so I tried standing on my heel on my left foot and balancing for half a second, going, yeah, I can do that. I tried on my right foot, and my toe immediately slammed to the ground, and it was like, oh, this is a problem. So I've since contacted my doctor, contacted a physiotherapist, contacting a massage therapist. I have a neurologist appointment next week because it's my annual November appointment. And I've been working through that. And so far, it looks like it's just a biomechanical thing that basically, because Parkinson's was causing me to not, move my muscles properly. I've weakened my muscle in my foot to lift it. I've weakened my leg muscles. And now I started, about that time when I started noticing that, I started working against it, and that started giving me pain in my leg. So now I have a severe pain starting from my hip going down the outside of my leg, basically my IT band all the way down, because it's been weakened. But my physiotherapist thinks that strength training, which I've now started on, can work. However, it's been pretty severe, and I'm both supposed to not overdo it, but also work it. So it's been awkward, and it's been another type of brutal. And, I think that for me, when I got the diagnosis, my first reaction was obviously devastation. But then my second reaction was, fuck you, Parkinson's. I'm not going to let you take me down. Like, I'm going to do everything. And I kind of overdid it. I started swimming every day. I started, going to the gym. I was continuing my walking. I was trying to do anything I could that could fight against it. Everything I read about, I was thinking, I'll do this. And of course, I took on too many things at once and didn't develop good habits. But now I've got the drumming going. I've still got my walking when I'm feeling okay. I've got some strength training happening, and I'm going to continue working on it. But for the first time in the last month or two, and this may partially be because we are selling the house and I'm losing this space as a studio that I built, and I don't know exactly what that future thing is going to look like. And my brain is questioning, well, what do I want to be doing? So for the first time in the last few weeks, I've had those first thoughts of, gee, can I handle this? Can I survive this? Can I mentally cope with, something that sucks, right? And I think that at the core, I know that, yes, I can, right? But sometimes I've had the feelings of, I just want to give up now. I just want to not try anymore. This thing's going to drag me down. And I know that that's normal, and it's a normal thought to have, but I haven't liked it. Haven't liked having those thoughts. So I've been fighting against that. I've been having the leg pain, but I think that in general, every time there's something that comes along that's part of this, it becomes the next aspect. There's a transition, and there's something I have to both physically work through and mentally work through. And that's just a skill that I keep developing as well. So the mental skill to convince myself to do what's needed to continue to live my life as best as I can. So that's what I'm doing. Maybe I made this video a little bit longer than I was planning, but I've got some fun stuff coming up in the future. First of all, I still haven't done my drumming video for September or October, and I just gave myself a break and said, okay, October I'll do it. September, I'll do it in October. October, I haven't done it yet. I'll do it in November. I hopefully will do that in the next few days. And then the following weekend of the 14th is my annual gaming convention at my house, JohnCon, where all my friends come over and we spend the weekend playing board games and role-playing games and some miniature games and drinking and eating and enjoying each other's company and having a good time. So I'm super looking forward to that. And we've ordered our merchandise. Maybe I'll throw up the picture of this year's JohnCon t-shirt because, hey, it's not studio related, but it is part of what goes on in my life. And while I was ordering that t-shirt, I finally got around to ordering my own Edgestone Studios t-shirt. So I'd thrown my logo onto a t-shirt on TeePublic probably, I guess around 2022, 2021, 2022, thinking, maybe I'll get some Edgestone Studios merch. You can get a hat, you can get a t-shirt, whatever. And then, we use TeePublic for the JohnCon merchandise, where we make t-shirts every year, and some of my friends like to have those and treat it like it's a real gaming convention, and so I had those. And one day, I randomly in the middle of the year, I think it was last year in December, I got a notification from TeePublic that, oh, you've made a sale, and I was like, who just bought a JohnCon t-shirt? That's weird. And I found out somebody randomly had bought the Edgestone Studio t-shirt, which I did not yet own myself. And I realized, somebody who's followed me online or knows me went and found this on TeePublic and decided to get an Edgestone Studios t-shirt, and I thought that was cool. So now I've got a link in YouTube here just below this video, so you can get Edgestone Studio t-shirts. You can also buy JohnCon t-shirts if you think they're cool. I don't really need you to. I'm not saying please support me. I need money. It's just a funny thing that I do, and I really do like my Edgestone Studios logo. I always thought it was cool. I developed this in 2008 when I opened my part-time business. So anyways, that's my annual brutal news update on my Parkinson's and where I'm at. I'm feeling pretty positive today. I've already been up, done some stretching, was in pain, had a shower, decided to just lie down and have a nap and let my leg relax, and then finally came out here and recorded this video, which is now far longer than it should be. And anyone who's watched to the end, kudos on you for, having nothing better to watch on the internet. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll come up with some new gear or other interesting music videos soon. If you haven't checked out my series on musicians of Vancouver Island, go into my channel dashboard and go to the playlist there. There's all these great musicians that I've recorded in the studio and videoed, and that was my first foray into sort of live music production videos, and they turned out excellent. They were just amazing people. I was so blessed to have them come and volunteer their time to help build my channel and help promote them. And then, I've got some gear videos. I've got my building Edgestone Studios video out there, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I think I'll probably do something on the Carnaby Harmonic EQ or the Brick Lane compressor from Cranbourne Audio, because I now have both of those as well. And there'll be something coming out, and you'll see it when it shows up. So thanks for watching. Take care.